Good morning.
Good morning.
We're still deploying Italy at the moment.
No, we are in the fleet. Italy is completed.
Okay, then I will refresh my screen.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of started 1 minute ago, so yeah.
Okay.
How
see
long does building packages take?
For the release?
Yeah.
80 minutes, 70,
Wow.
80 minutes. Plus, yeah, you don't even count on the Raspberry Pi images. Those takes half a day, kind of.
We don't wait for them?
No, we don't.
Okay, nice. 80 minutes, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of packages, a lot of this, yeah, a lot of versions, a lot of stuff to build.
We are building this on the dev instance, right? But it's but it's a runner doing this, right? So
yeah, it's a special runner. There are
Yeah.
a set of special runners for building.
So speeding up with a beefier runner maybe could help.
I don't know. Distributions own it. Hello, Amy. Hello, Myra. So where is the agenda? So we were just acknowledging the fact that the main fleet deployment started a couple of minutes ago. So, I mean, it will take 1 hour more or less. So, I mean, there's no way we're going to be able to test it now. So maybe I'm going to ask to the Myra and Scarbuck if they maybe feel comfortable in running this in 1 hour time or even 2 hours when, I mean, it's more suitable for both of them. I don't know what the other thinks, but maybe we can just run this in the US time zone.
I'm perfectly happy with doing that test.
Yeah, I think it could work. So the only reason why we cannot start now is because we are waiting for an ongoing deployment to finish updating the fleet, because we cancel the post-deployment migration and we need some sort of returning point, right?
Because we are sticking to the plan that was approved, because there being it a dry run, we could run it now. I mean, that's the fact. That's a fact, right? So nothing is going to happen. And one of the first step in the thing is we check that is actually a real dry run pipeline, so nothing is going to change. So, but that's the thing. The plan was to run this when there's no ongoing deployment, and so we have an ongoing deployment.
I will probably be around as well. So Scarbet, do you want to just ping at the point where the deployment is at a stage we can do the rollback, and then we can see what time it is and regroup?
Yeah, I could do that.
Great. So yeah, if you shout, then anyone who's around can join, and optional, as long as there's a few of us, then that's totally fine.
I'll scream as loud as I can.
Sounds great. Awesome. I will. Do we need to? How closely do engineers on call track scheduled changes? So I asked Nels yesterday to.
It changed now, so we should have a long shift.
No, I mean, how closely do they track change issues? Like, do we need to? Like, will they go, huh, you said you were going to do this at 3:15 and you haven't started till 4? Like,
I don't.
No, They don't do
No.
this.
Good stuff. Okay, I'll just update the issue
They
then.
should, but yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming they're really busy. That was more what I was thinking. If I was applying this to release management stuff, we're not reading through all the comments and issues, right? Okay, good. Cool. Okay, I'll just add a comment to the change issue then.
I'll notify Nels that we are delaying this due to problems unrelated to anything he needs to be aware of, but just so that he's aware, I'll notify him.
Awesome. Sounds good.
I would not use problems, because maybe you can just kind of ring somebody. Just say there is an ongoing production deployment. We have the security release in progress, so we decide to postpone when the deployment is completed.
I'll
It's
choose
kind of-
different English words at some point in time, but yeah.
Opportunities, it's never a problem. It's always an opportunity.
So I would just leave here in the agenda the pipeline, so the link to the post deployment pipeline that was canceled, so that it can be recovered later on. Okay. So I didn't put anything in the agenda, but I have a couple of items that maybe we can discuss. Well, just one item we can discuss now, and I think that we should close this earlier so that we get some time back, because some will be involved in this later on. So the thing is, I was reviewing the plan again this morning, and I realized that there is so when we will run this in production, without the dry run, there is an expected failure that we didn't capture in our change request issue, which is that because of the special nature of our tests, we're going to cancel something. So we will have a production locked, because production will be locked by unfinished deployment to production. So the first pipeline, the one that checks the what's the name? GPRD checks? No, GPRD prepare, I think. Yeah, GPRD prepare will fail. So this is something. So I'm just thinking every release manager knows how to deal with it, because it happens also with regular deployment. So we know that we set the variables, we rerun, and then we unset the variable. Maybe Henry is less familiar because it never happened in the shift that is started now. But I mean, it's something that is part of how we handle regular deployments. So I think my reasoning is more along the line. I want to be sure that we are not surprised by this, because it will happen, not in the dry run, but in the real one. And I also don't want us to wait, I think it's 30 or 90 minutes for it to time out, because we know it will fail, but it will, the job will keep retrying and retrying and retrying. So I added a section in the change request when I'm kind of outlining what we should do in that case. So something like check that this is running, that the message say that it is locked and it will bound to fail basically, and then we cancel it so that we speed up things, because there's no mean to just wait 90 minutes for it to retry something that we never pass. And so yeah, just to be sure that everyone is aware of this and we don't get surprised by this when it happens. Comments on this?
This is something which we should get into the run book, right? Because this is I think it's less common, but maybe it becomes more common in the future, which is we cancel a production deployment, and in which case this will be the additional step we need to take.
I think better than a runbook change would probably be modifying this, where if we are doing a rollback, skip this check entirely, perhaps. Like we're...
No, because maybe there is an ongoing production deployment that we didn't count it for. Because I'm assuming that sometimes we will end up in a situation where deployment was fine, nobody acknowledged any type of error, and then we have an error spike, and they say, yeah, maybe it's better to roll back. And maybe there's something, I mean, you know, as a release manager, that if you promoted something or not, right? But in the, say in that moment when the pressure is really high, better to double check why this failed.
Okay.
What we don't have, I suppose it's the other piece, right, around rollbacks is we don't really have any guidelines for a release manager gets pulled into an incident. Something may or may not be right, and that all the steps you would go through before you get to the rollback. So it feels to me it's part of that, right? It's like, maybe you check if there's a deployment, maybe you cancel it, you check other stuff, you check post-deployment migrations, you set this variable, you kick off a rollback. It feels like it's using the rollback pipeline rather than creating the pipeline. Cool. Okay, thanks for putting the steps in to the change issue, Alessio.
Well, if there's nothing else, I think we can just get back 15 minutes and finger crossed for the test later today.
Yeah. When you do the test later, if I, just in case I'm not on the call, could you record it so that we definitely have this recorded? Super. Great. See some of you later.